What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It is MB the Life Coach, your absolute favorite mental health and success coach, and you already know why we here. We have yet again another Black Business highlight. Now, look, I know. We don't normally do these on Fridays, but I am super excited to have our guests on a Friday, and we got something special for y'all next Friday too. So definitely make sure y'all tune in with us because our website revamp just went live today, and we are doing a meet the team. Yes, the whole team. Shout out to the 1409 podcast. If you're not already following them, make sure you do and make sure you check them out. Anyway, right? We got another Black Business highlight. Our guest just got here. I'm about to tag them. About to have a great time on this Friday. So yeah, let's get it popping. Oh, and they sent the request. Let's see. Okay, cool. We here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
You are fine. You are fine. So I am going to floor as the beginning of the interview so you can let the people know a little bit about who you are and what.
Okay, so my name is Arnold Jatho. I make sugar scrubs. My business is called Amazing Health and Beauty, and I'm really just getting started like a year into this. It was birthed out of kind of being a little lost after my mother transitioned and a way for me to be creative again. So I started making sugar scrubs like 2 years ago for Mother's Day for, my friends who were celebrating Mother's Day. And, it brought me a little bit of happiness because, my mother was no longer with me. So that kind of birthed Amazing Health and Beauty, or what it was called, Amazing Sugar Scrubs, now transitioned to Amazing Health and Beauty. So that's pretty much our business. It's organic, it's vegan, just trying to make people feel better, be better, and, make myself feel better from all of what's been, transpiring in my life. So that's where we are. You can follow us on Instagram, and our website just launched last night, amazinghd.com. So make sure that you go follow that and, check us out.
Well, we are super excited to have you. You came right out the gate with the deep stuff, so we have a couple questions about that. But
Of course.
we appreciate transparency. A lot of people, they get a little bit reserved with the transparency of business. So the fact that you're open enough to want to share that with, we appreciate that. So we know that you said that this was something that you kind of used as a therapy,
Yes.
your ability to make other people feel better as a therapy for you to kind of cope with a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about what that part of your day-to-day journey is like in business.
So you said in business?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're kind of low for me. So really is, my work base is at home. I was a teacher for many years before I had my son. I just had my son 8 months ago. So it's really like a side hustle for me, as I'm, transitioning to be a mother, thinking about going back to work next year. So I'm home based. I make everything inside of my home. I shop for my products on organic sites and try to find, little places around Baltimore City because I also want to make sure that I'm using local things inside of my products. So I'm very home based, organic, vegan, and trying to just make sure that I'm also showcasing and highlighting different products that you can purchase and pick up around in your local city.
Absolutely. And we just appreciate all of that work. I'm a mommy. My baby is 6. She'll be 7 on the 12th. And I know my hands are full with her, and going into entrepreneurship, just within itself. So having a baby that small, I know that it's extremely busy.
Yeah, this is a bad time, but Daddy's taking over right now.
Yeah. So the therapeutic aspect of it, you have the day-to-day responsibilities, but this is also something that you're doing to as well with, the loss. Are there some days or some that, invoke a more emotional response than others? And in that aspect, how do you deal with it?
Well, of course, I don't think you ever cope all the way with losing somebody as close as your mother, depending on your relationship with her. However, I was very close to my mother, and it was all of a sudden. So there are more happier days, of course, than others, but I'm very intuitive. I always meditate. I'm always writing in my journal, and especially around Mother's Day,
Mhm.
it keeps me from being sad because Mother's Day is always a reminder that she's not here, and I can't spend time with her. So when I started creating sugar scrubs for persons, for their Mother's Day, it was a kind of way for me to kind of get out of that sadness, because that loss is never going to be completely healed. However, you have to learn how to move in your day to day. So that kind of distracted me, I guess, for the lack of a better word, to really, deal with what I was going through, but also try to move past that deep feeling of sadness. And my mother was crazy creative. I call her, a Renaissance woman. She could do everything from wallpaper. She put all the ceiling fans up in our house. She sewed. She reupholstered furniture. Like, she was, the epitome of a Renaissance woman. And this is my way of kind of paying homage to her creativity and paying homage into the, incredible woman that she was while she was amongst us in the physical.
That is beautiful. That beautiful. I guess the reason why I more so wanted to know your perspective on that is my grandmother, who I was very close with, transitioned in February of last year, and
I'm
a
sorry.
struggle to kind of
Mm,
get in the swing of one feeling, because oftentimes we kind of get so engulfed in work or doing other things, and it distracts us from the responsibility of actually feeling and going through the motions. So
mm.
the fact that you use your business to, one, commemorate her creativity, but also you still give yourself that room to feel and heal through the process is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I mean, and of course, it is very much good days than bad days, and bad days than good days. But um, learning how to cope. I know if she was here, she'd be like, "Stop all that crying, girls." She was always telling me to stop crying. Um, I just try to make sure that I'm respecting her and paying homage to her by doing the things that make me feel most closest to her. And being a creative person definitely makes me feel that way. So.
Absolutely. So with, just transitioning that aspect more into the business side, do you have a specific scent or a mix that you put together that you feel remind you most of her?
Um, Scent or mix, I wouldn't say. My mother was like, she was way more fancier than I am, Gucci and all that type of perfume. So I wouldn't say a scent, but maybe what always sells out is my Miami Nights. I don't know why that reminds me of her. I think it's because she loved to wear this. My mother was a Muslim, and she made her clothes, of course, but she always wore this pink outfit. And Miami Nights is a coconut scent with a hint of lemongrass, and it's I use the organic dye, which is pink. So that, if anything, I would say reminds me of her, just, being very bright and vivid. That color scheme that I have with Miami Nights, I guess would say, reminds me the most of my mother. If she was here and I, created that for her, I think that's the one that she would buy the most.
Absolutely. I definitely appreciate you for sharing that. So shifting gears a little bit, where do you see yourself and the company in the next 3 to 5 years? Do you plan on using this, still in a coping therapeutic way, or do you actually want to scale it to, be a lot bigger, transition into full-time entrepreneurship with it? Like, what's your plan?
Well, of course, I can always say that, you have a vision, but God's vision is always a little bit brighter than yours. So, again, when I started this was not a way of me thinking that I was going to make money from it for it. Like, when the first sale that I made, I was working as a server in a restaurant. I was teaching, but also working as a server in a restaurant. And my first clients were people that I was the dishwashers and the cooks in my restaurant who, were buying this product off of me. And I was just like, are people really going to buy this? Like, okay, I mean, I'm going to try. I was giving people samples out just for free when I first started. So, again, my vision, of course, I can't even, imagine that it's even gotten where I am now doing vending events. Like, that was not even in my foresight. So I'm just going to say wherever God places me in the next 3 to 5 years, if he sees this as something that, can go as big as, Lip Bar or any, Carol's daughter, because I was reading, or excuse me, watching this documentary, and all of these sisters started these businesses inside of their homes, in their kitchens, and people were coming to their homes buying their products. So if I can be as big as them, then okay, that's, where I'll go in my vision. But again, when I first started this, if someone would have told me that I would have made the money that I made off of this, I would have been like, that's not what happened. I mean, my husband, he'll tell you all the time, like, I told you to do this, la, 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 la. But I just, we always, I think as women, sometimes we sell ourselves short and we think very small of ourselves.
Yep.
And we just have to listen to that God inside of us and know that we can do bigger and better things. So I'm starting to be a lot more in tune with that God in me, and knowing that, you can have a vision, but God definitely will have a bigger vision if you put the work in. So I'm just going to continue putting this work in, and we'll see, where we are in 3 to 5 years. I don't know, but I'm hoping it's doing big and better things.
Well, that is a completely valid answer to have, and I appreciate you for even sharing that much with us. I can attest to God having his own plans with what we're doing, just even through the way that this platform has grown in itself. I thought about it one way, and what I realized is sometimes God just needs your yes, and he'll give you for you to say yes to. Because if he told you, hey, I need you to do this and it's going to become this, most of the time that big vision and that end goal that God has for us will allow us to trick ourselves out of our spot and out of our blood. So when God says, hey, I just want you to do this at this small scale, and we get that yes, or we give him that yes, then he'll take that and say, okay, cool, now I need you to do this, until he can trust us enough with the bigger picture to know that we won't allow ourselves out of our spot. It's one thing.
Yes, definitely.
The devil will trick you out of your spot, or will try to trick you out of your spot, but you're so solid in what God told you, you can kind of, you'll tussle with that. But when God knows that you yourself are still developing, there's only so much he'll give us, and he'll give us enough for us to give him a yes.
Yes, I would definitely say that.
Oh, well, but that's dope. We appreciate that. So exactly, the classy business CEO said faith over fear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there.
Oh.
Classy business.
Don't get there.
Well, I'm moving there.
You're going to get there. What has your support? I know you mentioned, if you knew that that you were going to make the money that you made so far out of it, you'd have said, yeah, right. So what was it like when you made that first sale? Going back to what that experience was like for you, can you recap it for us and tell us how it felt?
I guess I was kind of like in a daze, because, it took a while for me to even, start to create. After my mom passed, I was doing a little things little by little. So I guess when I made that first sale, I was like, oh, okay, like, you always buying things, you always supporting others, but it felt good to have just to create something from someone and someone seeing value in it. Because, as a teacher, I taught middle school and high school. I put, I put my love in that all the time, and it's not always received by middle schoolers, not always received by high schoolers. Like, they have their own things sometimes, that they're going through. So it felt good to actually create something and it immediately be appreciated. Sometimes it takes a while for people to appreciate or value you, but for me to create sugar scrubs and create body butters, and then there'll be immediate reaction like, oh my goodness, I love this, let me purchase this for my friend, let me purchase this for my mother. It was like a good gratification, because everybody wants to feel like that once they put something out there, it's going to be well received. So that was my initial feeling, that I didn't have to wait, months for my students, once they graduated, to write me a letter and say, Miss OJ, I'm sorry for doing this and this. And, but, for that immediate gratification was, the push and the drive that I needed to, continue in this.
That is beautiful. Well, we are fastly approaching our 30-minute time slot, unfortunately, but
it's fine.
Extremely beautiful to speak with you and for you to even share that much of your story with us. Here, we love to highlight business, and the face behind the brand is really more important, because we get to get a feel for the maker's mind. Before we go, we do want to give you the floor for you to give any advice or any quotes or any type of motivation that you would have wished you known as a beginning entrepreneur, or anything that, like, any people or any persons that's pursuing entrepreneurship to know, as well as to let them know where they can find you.
So again, I'm not a motivational speaker, but the best advice that I can give you is to trust God. Trust God in the physical, and trust God inside of you, because whatever it is that he placed inside of you, whatever vision it is that he gave you, make sure that you just act on that vision, because he placed it inside of you for a reason. And whatever it is that you think that will come out of that, he's going to give you 10 times what you believe that you could actually do with that. So that's my only piece of advice for people, who are just getting started being an entrepreneur, or whatever it is that your talent is, whatever it is that you feel like you're here on this earth to do. Make sure that you're just leaning inside of yourself, trusting yourself, and trusting that God gave you that vision. And you can find us at Amezing, AMEZING, or Sugar Scrubs Amezing on IG, or Amazing HB on Twitter. So you just follow us. We're going to be dropping some new things coming pretty soon. So we'll love for you to check us out.
Well, we would absolutely love to check you out, and we'll make sure that we post this and share this to everybody so they can be aware of what you all have going on as well. It has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you, and don't let this be your last time checking in with us. We want to be able to continue to watch you grow. If there's anything that we can do to better assist you in that growth, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, sis. This has been amazing. I'm not a person who does this at all, so I'm just glad that I have this platform. This is really new and, kind of nervous for me, but I like this.
So you have a story, and I just feel like God wants me to remind you not to be afraid to share your story. Those situations that happened, those obstacles that you had to overcome, they were all designed specifically for you to be able to be that person that can reach back and pull someone who needed a you forward, allowing you to be in a position to be who you needed to somebody else. So don't be afraid to share your story, and don't ever be afraid to stand 10 toes behind what it is that you have to say, because you have a lot to say.
Thank you, sis. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
You are so very welcome. I'm going to go ahead and give you the rest of your evening back, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Peace.